said Muller was to him.
Estelle Muller came into the precinct and said it wasn't possible. Her son was afraid of heights. There's no way he'd climb a big rock.
Well, unless he'd had 8 or 10 beers.
Which was the attitude the investigating officer took. Accidental death.
Even after the widow married Jim Shepard?
The body was already in the ground. Case was closed.
And Estelle Muller's been walking around nursing the mother of all grudges. But where does she find a hitman?
Her husband was a criminal lawyer. She used to work in his office.
Criminal lawyers know a lot of criminals.
He's a pretty good criminal lawyer. I remember him.
And too bad he's dead. His widow might need him.
I asked around. There's a list of all his clients anybody remembers.
Vincent Blocker, Steven Sandler, Diane Juilliard.
Plus, I ran his name through Westlaw looking for criminal appeals. His name came up on a dozen briefs.
People versus Sloan. People versus O'Rourke. People versus Morelli.
Morelli? The loan shark who used the same hitman we're looking at here?
None other. He and an associate named Bronson were convicted of extortion. Mrs. Muller's husband won their appeal.
They must have been grateful.
Yeah, the guy got me and Molly off. That means we were acquitted as an innocent, as in take a hike.
Do you think we give a crap about some old extortion, Pete Bronson?
How, you just came by to play oldies on the jukebox?
No, we were looking at an attempted murder. A guy named Jim Shepard gunned down on the street.
Never heard of him, and I don't own a gun. You want to search me? Don't tickle.
We know you didn't pull the trigger, Bronson, but we also know who did.
Therefore, you're hassling me, what?
The shooter's a pro. You set up the job for the interested party.
You're dreaming.
Your late pal Morelli used this hitman to take out an overdue customer. You would have known about that.
Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, you'd become acquainted with a lawyer named Muller and his wife, Estelle.
How do I remember? She worked in the office.
Smart. See? Now we're starting to get someplace.
So when she wanted to hire a hitman, she called you. You set her up with the guy you knew about.
Now there you lost me again.
Hey, you don't think we're going to find a trace of this when we rip through your phone records, your money records, and every little piece of your miserable life? Then you're in for attempted murder.
Unless.
Did you set the lady up with the shooter?
Yeah. And she won't pay the back half because the job wasn't done and the shooter is getting very unpleasant on the subject.
Wow, then we're going to make everybody happy. You just call the lady back and tell her you found a new man who's going to finish the job.
He's sitting in that hospital room drinking milkshakes.
I can take care of that. No more frozen treats.
But there's a policeman outside the door. That's why the other man wouldn't try again.
You know how bored that cop's got to be by now? Won't be that hard to distract him.
You're not afraid of policemen?
They're underpaid, and as a group, they're stupid.
What are you going to do?
I don't ask you your secrets, do I?
He has a way with mature women.
It's a gift, Detective.
I am a little bit curious, though. I mean, what's your beef with this guy?
I shouldn't think a man in your position would want to be too curious.
Hey, it's your nickel, lady. I'm as curious as you want it.
Here's $4,000.
When do I get the rest?
When Jim Shepard is dead.
That's it.
Just one more thing, Mrs. Muller.
How did you know my name?
You're under arrest for the attempted murder of James Shepard. You have the right to remain silent. Excuse me, Dr. Sackett.
Howard Phillips, you're under arrest for the attempted murder of James Shepard. You have the right to remain silent.
What are you going to do with my dog? Take her inside. My wife's there.
Anything you say, Ken, will be used against you in a court of law.
Come on. My kid will go nuts.
You have the right to an attorney. You cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you.
TNT this February.
That's the dog!
No. If I need one, I can make one.
Are you streaming that live on YouTube?
Not live, but
Well, what's the live stream then? It's not very
I'm
live.
fine if I let's.
No annual fee. To apply, go to city.com/thankyoucards.
Here,
You should use my phone. You can edit the video, cut it in, out, put music behind it, do all kinds of stuff.
Wait, what, Dad?
What?
Case
What?
number is 961.
Wait, what?
My game is over.
I said you should use my phone. That way you can edit the video and put music behind it, all kinds of stuff. Switch audio tracks, cut, edit, all kinds of stuff.
You asked if I know how to do it.
Blows that piece of crap iPhone away.
7 and 9, 6148. People versus Howard Phillips and People versus Estelle Muller. Charges are conspiracy to commit murder in the first degree, attempted murder, and assault in the first degree.
Please.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
This is a case of attempted murder for hire, Your Honor. Defendant Muller hired Defendant Phillips, a professional hitman.
Professional, eh? Well, Mrs. Muller can use her refund to post bond.
Which would give her an opportunity to finish the job. The people request both defendants held without bail.
My client's roots are in New York. There's no flight risk.
I think that's what the people are afraid of. Any argument, Mr. K?
My client doesn't oppose remand.
Well, neither do I. So what? Next.
Your client likes Rikers?
Short term only. Here you're scheduled for 9 a.m. tomorrow. You're getting an invitation from the U.S. Attorney.
You get the hitman, we get to keep granting Muller?
She got the hit. That's the one you want to get, isn't it?
You're just thinking of our well-being.
Mr. Phillips has done jobs for 2 major crime families. He can do us a lot of good.
And himself. Where are you off to, Mr. Phillips? Hawaii? Florida?
He serves an indeterminate term at a federal penitentiary under a new name.
And before he goes, he testifies against Mrs. Muller.
You're getting your little old lady off the street, and I'm getting a witness against some real bad guys. I don't see the problem.
James Shepard.
What can I say? I guess the guy's number wasn't up.
It was your intention to kill him?
That's what I do.
You and your dog.
Pumpkin takes care of her business. I take care of mine.
And Estelle Muller hired you?
Yep. Takes all kinds, doesn't it?
Considering your client's age and the cost of the trial, we'll drop the conspiracy and assault if she pleads to attempted murder.
That's the A felony. Where's the break?
We've got the conversation with Detective Briscoe and the testimony of the original hitman. We don't have to give you a break.
I'll plead to whatever they want.
Estelle.
What does it matter? On one condition. That you prosecute Jim Shepard for the murder of my son.
Your son's death was ruled an accident.
My son wouldn't climb that rock.
He was drunk.
He couldn't get that drunk. It was a lie.
The police believed it.
Oh, sure. Who was I? Just the mother deranged with grief.
Maybe you were.
There was something going on between Robin and Jim. I saw the looks between them, the way they touched each other. They killed my son.
If you're so sure, why did you wait until now to do something?
Jim Shepard was about to adopt my son's child. I couldn't bear it.
Blood is thicker.
Yeah. Maybe Estelle Muller's blood is a little too thick for the arteries going to her brain. She's willing to plead. Go figure that one out.
If we follow her orders about whom to prosecute,
Good luck to her. I have trouble making you follow mine.
I'm tempted, Adam. She's hiring hitmen, offering to plead to whatever I want. She's very sure about this.
Didn't the police look into it 5 years ago?
Sort of. I called the ME for Rick Muller's autopsy report. This is what they said.
No autopsy.
It was a busy weekend. He did a physical exam, ran some labs, confirmed alcohol in the blood.
They didn't know the widow had plans to remarry.
What if we don't have that much help?
You're taking her seriously? She's crazy. She's out hiring murderers.
You did remarry pretty quickly.
Do you know what I was going through? My husband was dead, and I had a baby. Jim would come over after Darlene was asleep and bring tea and cookies, and we would sit and talk. We helped each other through it.
Jim needed help?
He blamed himself for Rick's death. Not the way Estelle did. But he was the one that brought the beer to the game.